According to a recent Bloomberg article, around 2.7 million Americans aged 55 or older are contemplating retirement earlier than they expected because of the pandemic. So today we put together 6 strategies with the word retire to talk through that you should be thinking about if you're facing the early retirement decision. So the first one there is R, and that is risk in unbalanced portfolios, Grayson.
Yep. And that's all about, is your portfolio properly allocated and diversified heading into retirement? Are all your eggs in one basket? Do you have too much stock exposure? Do you not have enough stock exposure? There can be a number of different misallocations that you really want to make sure you approach before you enter into early retirement.
Yeah, and for the E, second letter there, it's early retirement account withdrawals and considering the penalty that you may have there.
Yep. It's all about thinking about your tool belt. Where are the different accounts? Where are you going to be getting your income from? Where are you pulling it from? Do you have bank accounts, brokerage accounts, pre-tax 401ks or IRAs that may have penalties that involved, Roth IRAs, different retirement plans? There's a wide range of options, but you really want to think through, where's the best option to pull my income from?
And with that, there's the consideration of taxes, right? And that's our T. Take advantage of tax efficient moves in early retirement.
Yep. That's all about, there's mistakes you can make by pulling from the wrong account, and there's opportunities that can be missed by not taking advantage of low income years in early retirement. That's things like Roth conversions, harvesting capital gains, and many other options to work through that we cover on the episode today.
Yeah, moving along in the word retire here, we're at I, and many times this keeps people working longer than they want to. It's the fear of their insurance game plan, in particular health insurance.
How are you going to source your health insurance, and how much is it going to cost? So we're talking through different options you have access to. So that's going to be COBRA, Affordable Care Act plans, and potentially hopping on your spouse's healthcare plan if you have access to it, and talking through how elevated costs or expenses can potentially throw your early retirement off track if not appropriately planned for.
Yeah. So there's workplace plans or that ACA subsidy, right? And understanding the tax moves in tandem with Roth conversions there. So it takes tax planning every year. So if we're moving along here, we're at the second R in retire, and that is having a process for regular reviews for implementation and monitoring in retirement or early retirement.
Right. And it's, how often are you reviewing your portfolio? Are you rebalancing appropriately? Are you taking advantage of tax opportunities? And there are two sides to it. Where is your personal life changing? Do you have shifting goals that maybe when you retired early, you aren't enjoying it? You want to go back to work and you found value in that you weren't aware of prior to retirement. Are you prepared to pivot back into the workforce? Or are you prepared to pivot to different objectives in retirement that maybe you had never thought of that could increase expenses? So many different things there. And things outside of your control are the tax code and law changes. So are you prepared to adjust when tax law inevitably changes? Because it will over a long period of retirement.
Yes. I mean, having the triggers and the rules around when you rebalance a portfolio and how you make decisions to review that and implement it is vital in early retirement. And many times it's the emotions can take over and rule when you're thinking about those decisions. And that can be a detriment long-term if you're thinking about that and your income has ended early. So, okay, wrapping up our word retire here, we're at E, and that the last E, and that is estate loose ends. Too many people don't consider their estate plans.
Yep. Do you have your estate documents in place? Have you gone ahead and checked that relatively simple box to make sure your estate is appropriately set up to where if you were to pass or if a spouse was to pass, your wealth is going to go where you want it to go? You have appropriate beneficiary designations on all your accounts, and thinking through different things like life insurance and different insurances you may have through your workplace that are going to cease at your retirement, that you need to potentially source from different private options outside of your workplace.
So we've thought a lot about this, had a lot of conversations around it, and put together a pre-retirement checklist that you can download on our website, financialsymmetry.com. that can help you walk through a lot of these areas in much more detail to make sure you're answering the questions you need to if you're facing this early retirement decision. Thanks for joining us today. We have a lot of different episodes here on the channel. If you don't want to miss the next one, you can subscribe, and then we'll catch you again in 2 weeks.